My hand was up.
Let's go, Tanner.
Bro, you going?
All right.
Hi, Mr. Miller.
All right. Do we have our 2 people?
Yep.
Where's Tanner?
Yeah.
All right, Tanner. Whisper to me. Hi. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So what was it? Other ones that put your hands up? Glass bottle. That top of that beer bottle or liquor bottle, right? Okay. Tanner and come and get a poster.
Oh, come on, player.
All right. Okay. All right. So
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
this is a hard one. And we'll look. We've got 2 more hands coming up. We got the Merry Grand Prix left. Ready to listen?
I am.
All right.
What are you watching?
What is that major award that Kingfish is nominated for?
How specific do you want it?
Well, we got.
Do you want a category?
No, just the
Okay.
main
All
award.
right. Well, it was a gentleman right there and a gentleman right here. They had their hands up before
Okay.
everybody else.
Yell them out, guys.
Grammy?
The Grammy.
Yeah, you got 'em. All right. Good job.
All right. So did we get them all out?
Don't like wrinkle them. They're worth a lot of money.
Yep.
Is it working?
Just trying to figure out a good angle.
Please introduce Angela. Angela comes just from Nashville, so she has a little accent, a little different than we do, right? And she's the voice of the Bayou. Sultry, spicy, and full of soul. And she's a songwriter. She has a radio station. She's going to tell you more about what she does. And yeah, she's going to tell you this. I don't have to tell you, but you can see. How many of you have ever seen a cigar box guitar? Yeah? Cool. Have you played them? You know, when I do this program, Jim, let me get right back to you. You know, we're getting ready for 3,000 people, so he's the head of public works, so we're setting up for the festival tomorrow. So, Angela, you can take it away, and I'm gonna. Hi, guys. Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Sorry, we had to switch amps, so I'm still kind of setting up just a little bit. Thank you so much for having me. And how's everyone doing today?
Good.
Yes, I drove in from Nashville, and I'm originally from Mississippi. And I've been performing and recording music. Well, I've been performing live publicly since I was 8 years old, and recorded my first album in Nashville when I was 14. And this Rise album is my 5th one that I'm working on now. And so, what you guys are the jazz band? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay, I was talking to Noah as he was helping me. By the way, give it up for Noah. He helped me with my amp. Thank you so much. Thank you for being kind. Kindness is always a good thing. And I'm so excited to be here to play the Bradenton Blues Festival. I've been doing a lot of those this year, and it's been a lot of fun. And promoting a new album, and doing just a lot of different stuff, traveling this year. I do have my own radio show in Nashville. It's on Radio Free Nashville there, and it's 103.7 FM and 107.1 FM in Nashville, and it's radiofreenashville.org, streamed worldwide if you want to tune in and listen. And it's every Tuesday night from 8 to 10, and have a great time there. I bring on artists, and I interview them live, and I let them play live, and then they bring their albums, and I keep their albums in rotation and continue to play them on the show. So it's a great way to support independent artists. I don't know if you're familiar with different formats as far as artists. You know, there are artists that are signed with record labels, and they're independent artists. I'm still an independent artist at this time. Which means I've independently produced and put out my own music, and everything you see me do, basically, I do it on my own. I wear a lot of hats, but it's fun, and you know, it's been my journey my whole life. It's what I knew that I came here to do, and I'm probably sure some of you here today, if you are already pursuing music, you know, you probably have that calling, and I want to encourage you to just follow it with all your heart, because it'll be a journey that you'll never regret. But I've been in Nashville for 16 years, and I play there at the premier blues spot in Nashville. It's called Bourbon Street Blues and Boogie Bar, and I'm in my second year of residency there. I'm about to start my third in 2020, and I play there on Saturday nights, the 7 o'clock show, and it's just an amazing time. It's always packed out, and people come from all over the world, and there's great history there at Bourbon Street Blues and Boogie Bar. Many greats have played there for many years, and it's a very prestigious gig, and I'm honored to play there. We even have people step in sometimes to just see the show. You never know who will step in. Back in March, we had Gretchen Wilson. I don't know if you know who she is. She's actually a famous country artist, but she stepped in and she sang with us, got up on the stage and sang, so that was really fun. But I've been doing it for a long time, and I've traveled. I've done a lot of opening act stuff, opening for artists through the years. I've gotten to do some backup vocal stuff through the years, festivals, casinos, clubs, just basically anywhere I could play, private parties, house concerts. You have to step outside the box when you're an independent artist, and you're doing everything yourself in order to create, revenue when you're truly trying to make a living at doing this. But yeah, so it's just a lot of fun. Like I said, this is my 5th album. Rise is my 5th album, and I'm a songwriter also. I've written all the songs, and all the songs that you hear me play today are stuff I've written. But there's something really fun and unique about the new album that I'm promoting. It has 2 Grammy-winning artists on it with me, and I'm super honored to have them. The McCrary sisters. They're singing backup vocals on a track with me, and they've sang with Mary J. Blige, Elton John, Bob Dylan. I mean, you name it, they've sang with everybody. So they're on my album. I'm really honored to have them. Also, I have Kev Mo, which Kev Mo is a Grammy-winning blues artist. I have his drummer on there, Marcus Finney, and Marcus was the Grammy-winning drummer on Kev Mo's Grammy-winning album. And then, of course, a lot of other great, intelligent, and amazing musicians. And friends as well. Shelley Fairchild, she's a great artist there in Nashville. She plays on the Opry all the time. She's singing backups on it. My friend Heidi Burson, she's an amazing artist. She tours all over, not even the United States, but even overseas. And then my band as well, just tremendous talent. So I'm really honored, that I've gotten to the point where I have these people at this level that are willing to work with me. And so the thing about this album that I wanted to share that's really exciting right now, and this is all some stuff I can share with you on an independent level. So on an independent level, you have to do a lot of stuff yourself, and sometimes that even includes crowdfunding. So I got the opportunity last year to go play for Paul Benjamin, which puts on this festival in the North Atlantic and many other festivals. He's a great festival producer. And I got the opportunity to go up last year to Maine and play for his club in Rockland, Maine. And I took my band all the way from Nashville for one gig in Maine. And it was a long drive. And some people thought I was crazy, and I thought I was crazy for a minute. But the thing about it is, I knew in my heart that this opportunity came to me for a reason. And when something comes to you, you really want to go pursue it, because there's a purpose and there's a reason behind it. So I knew I wanted to go do it, because it was not an opportunity that I sought out. It just came to me. So I got my funding together, and we took the band up there, and we played for him in the club, and we had a great time. And then this year, he's put me on 3 of his large festivals. I played the North Atlantic Blues Festival in July, and these are just pre-release copies. The Rise album's not officially released yet. It'll be officially released in 2020. But these are pre-release copies that I have, and I took them to the festival, and a radio station picked it up there, WMHB, and they started playing it, and it debuted at number 7 in the top 10, top 40 blues charts there. So it debuted at number 7, and then it went up to number 5, and it's been in the top 10 for 5 consecutive months now. In March, it went number 1. So, yeah. So I'm super excited about that. And, you know, that just gives me a lot of great momentum to go into 2020 for my big official release, because I'm hiring, you know, a professional, legit team that works with, you know, established artists there in Nashville, and I'm going to hire them to promote my album to Billboard radio stations for 2020. And Billboard's, you know, the top of the top. Billboard's as big as you can go. And then the plan is to submit for Grammy nominations for 2021. So there's, you know, there's longevity in the plan. And with all this comes vision. You know, you have to have the vision to be able to see the plan, and then you have to have the determination and the work ethic to, you know, stick with the plan and apply the plan and make it work. So, you know, it's been a long time coming just even to get to this point. And that's what I did a radio interview, because I played the Frank Brown Songwriters Festival in November, and that's the largest songwriters festival in the world. And I was doing some radio interview before I did that in Mississippi, and they were talking about, because they were the first radio station that played my very first album when I was 14, when I released my very first album. And they were, you know, just going back and kind of having some nostalgia moment of my first album and talking about my history and how far I had come. And we were joking and talking about how they, you know, you say new artists because they just break into the top 40. But that artist maybe's been playing and been now working for 10, 15, 20 years. You know, you don't know how long they've been out there doing it before they finally get a break. So we were joking, and I said, yeah, 15-year overnight success. But I'm super excited about next year and the album for the official release. I'm trying to track down my water. I think I'll be over here. Over here, but it's been quite a journey through the years, you know. I started out singing in church when I was 8 years old. I started performing publicly, and when I was 12, I was in my first band. It was a gospel band, and I was the lead singer, and everyone else was adults, and I was 12. And then when I was 14, I joined another band that was playing out in clubs and everything, and I was the lead singer there as well. And we did all kinds of stuff. We got to open for George Jones, and I got to sing with him. We played the House of Blues in New Orleans. I got to play there when I was 16 years old for the first time. So music will open doors for you that nothing else in life, you know, will do. And it'll bring people in your life that you would have never met. And it'll bring friendships and just all kinds of great things. So we're going to get into a little bit of music, and we'll talk a little bit more in a minute. So I'm going to do one. This is one off my last album, the Hold On album over here. And this is one I wrote. This one's available everywhere digital music is sold. You can go buy this one. This one's called Lay Down. Baby, why'd you call me? Feeling lonely, I don't mind. Baby, won't you see me? Won't you feel me one more time? Baby,
You got it?
Singers in the house. And you don't have to be shy. We're all family. See, y'all know each other already, so I'm the new one. So if anybody needs to be shy, it's me, because I'm here with you guys. And I want you guys to participate and have fun today. Good job on the singing back there, by the way. What's your name?
My name? Jazzy Malik.
Nice to meet you. Awesome, good job there. So yeah, that's what I say. Music is fun. You can connect with people. You can lift people's spirits. You can encourage people through music. It's the language of the heart. Just like you see when we, started playing music. Instantly, you could feel the energy rise in the room, right? Everybody started smiling. That's what music does. So, I don't even know what y'all want to talk about. I can talk about all kinds of things, and I'm going to answer some questions too. But do you have any questions right now? And then I can help direct my talking to the things that you want to know. You got a question?
Yeah, what's the guitar tune to? Like what?
This open G.
Okay.
G, D, and G. Yeah,
Okay.
this one is. Do you like cigar box guitars?
I've seen them before. I've never seen them like that before though.
Yeah. I'll play this one in just a little bit. This is a 3-string. They come in different variations. 3, 4, and 6 is usually the standards. Yep.
No, continue.
Oh, okay. I thought you had a question.
I do.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
I got 3 actually.
Okay.
One, have you met any celebrities?
I've met tons of celebrities through the years. Yeah, I've had great opportunities of working with celebrities. I've got to sing with some celebrities. Like I said, I have the McCreer sisters. I don't know if you know who they are, but they're pretty well known. They're singing with me on my album. But yeah, I've met tons of celebrities through the years.
Number 2 is a personal question.
Okay.
You're from Nashville, Tennessee, right?
Right.
How do you feel about KFC Nashville, Tennessee?
Well, let me tell you. See, I grew up in Mississippi, so nothing's gonna be authentic in Tennessee from KFC. You know what I'm saying? You do.
Wait, tell me, because I don't know. Are they using a blues song?
Blues song? Yeah, we can make a blues song about KFC.
Alright, what was your third question?
My third question, have you ever had a macaroni and grilled cheese sandwich?
A long time ago. It's been a while.
It's really dismiss Chase from the class.
So yeah, the cigar box guitar is an instrument that is basically it's the history of the blues. When people basically didn't have money to go out and buy instruments, they took items that they had at home and they made instruments that they could sit around and entertain themselves with and each other. And that's how the cigar box guitar originated. This is an actual cigar box here. It's been painted, as you can see, hand painted, but that is an actual cigar box, and that's what the base of the instrument is made from. Of course, the neck's been fabricated, and along with the fret work as well, and the electronics. But that's where it originated from, is people not having the money to go out and buy instruments, so they made them, and then they just sat around and they played because they had the blues. So they had to entertain themselves. There wasn't much going on. So that's how the cigar box guitar originated. I'll play something for you in a little bit. And they're cool instruments and they're really fun. And they're tuned to open tuning. I'm sure you all are familiar with that. You can tune it in different keys. Some are in A, some are in E, some are in G. This one particular is tuned to G, but you can tune it to whatever key, and then you can fret it and play it, chord it, or you can play it with the slide as well. I really like playing it with the slide. I just love that sound. But yeah, so let's see. I'm gonna play something else here on the album for you, and then a little bit I'll move over there and play some piano, and we'll play the cigar box guitar too. I have to watch the time too. I forget what time are we going to?
Like 10:10.
Let's start getting
11:05. There will be a break
Shut
at
up.
10:10.
Is there a clock around here so I can watch?
No.
It's
No, just watches.
9:51, and we're going to what time?
Break at 10:10.
11:05 is the one for
Okay.
but there's a small break.
So in Nashville, a lot of songwriting goes on in Nashville. They call Nashville the songwriting capital, basically. Not only is it Music City, but it's also home of, all the best songwriters. And that's why I did the Frank Brown Songwriters Festival in Gulf Shores, Alabama in November. And I believe it was the 35th annual Frank Brown. It's been going on for a long time, but all the hit songwriters are there. I got to play with, he might end up watching this because he's on my page, Randy Brooks. He's the writer of Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer. So I got to play with him, and it's officially his season. His friends were joking and picking on him, because the movie and everything. He said, well, I guess drinks are on me this month. So, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. But anyway, songwriting's really big. I do a lot of songwriting, co-writing in Nashville. Co-writing's, multiple people. And I wrote this song with a great friend of mine, and she's a great songwriter there in Nashville, Miss Lori Kelly. We wrote this one. And it's on the new album called Rise. You got me feeling like my favorite sweater, unraveling and watching me like a gambler that's played and looking for some reason to fold. There's a little haven't officially even released the other album yet either. I'm gonna release it soon, but there's singles off of it. And then the new album next year, yes, everything will be, but some of it's already out there, yeah, everywhere digital music is sold, but all of it's not, but it will be next year. So, any other questions for me? So,
How long does it take you to make an album?
it varies. It can, now I'll be dead straight honest with you. Rise took me a long time because I had to pay for it myself, and it's very hard because, like I said, I'm just very honest. I'm still an independent artist, and I'm still paying for everything myself. So it took me 2 years from start to finish to get that album done. Now it shouldn't normally take that long. There was a long period where we were not working just because I had that downtime of trying to get my funding together. But I wanted to be patient, and I wanted to get it right, so I was patient, and I let it take the time that it needed for it to be right, and it was worth the wait, you know. Yeah.
Have you ever had to carry a band?
Do what now?
You ever had to carry a band?
Carry a band?
You see everybody's underperforming, so you have to perform so it sounds good?
Oh, well, luckily I mean, I have in the past, yes, but luckily I'm to the point where I have like A-list players playing with me. Yeah, I mean, I have a top-notch band in Nashville, and I'm very blessed with that. But yeah, I mean, there's been times where I've not had the exact situation, you know, that I maybe would have liked to have had on stage. But you know, that's part of the journey and learning how to adapt in the moment and adapt, because things are always going to happen. You know, whether it may be something technically that goes wrong, you know, it may be another person that maybe does something. You know, you always have to be on your toes when you're in a live setting, and just learn to adapt to the moment. And that's just part of being a professional and learning, you know, to be a professional is just learning how to adapt. And I would say, honestly, in all honesty, in all my years, that's probably the biggest lesson you can learn in being a professional. It's just really learning how to adapt and roll with the flow and keep your cool in all situations, you know. Because things are going to happen, you know. People are going to mess up. Equipment's going to go wrong. People are going to have moods. That's just life. Things are going to happen, you know. So, any other questions?
Angela, how much did the album that took 2 years, how much did it actually cost approximately? Self-funded.
Well, you can't go off of this because I have some very, very great friends in Nashville, and they pulled some big favors for me, so it's not what it would normally cost, but it cost me about $5,000 to do that one. Yeah, but yeah, I have a lot of great friends. And then I'm working on my funding, and my goal is I'm going to start with $10,000 for the promotion of it, and I may need more, but that's my starting goal, to get it, you know, up and running, and for the people that I have to hire. So, you know, it's a business, and there is a business end. You know, there's the art side and the music side and the fun side, and there's also the business side. And when you have to handle both things, it can be a lot, but it also is part of the process too. And especially with the music business nowadays, you know, the music business has changed so much because of the internet, and it gives so much power to the independent artists where they used to not have it. So a lot of people, you know, have been upset about monetary funds being decreased because of live streaming, and yes, I get it, and it does hurt the business in that way, but it's kind of a catch-20 because there's pros and cons, because yes, you know, you may lose some monetary effects for some of the larger people that are already established and they feel it the most, but it also has put the power in the hands of the independent artists where they used to not have that power, because you used to be at the mercy of all the record labels and all the publishing companies to get your music to people, even for it to be heard. But with, you know, the internet and, you know, modern times, you have so much power now. Just like, I mean, I can go put my music out to the whole world, and the whole world can have access to it now, and I can promote it to the whole world, you know, without that label and without the publishing companies. Now, it still takes funding and it still takes money, and that's, you know, that's where the business side comes in, and you really have to be business savvy if you're really heading it all up yourself. But it's just all part of the process, and part of, you know, music and the music business, not only in a musical term of thinking outside the box and being creative, but you do have to get creative, you know, on the business side as well if you legitimately want to make a living and make money at your art. So so hopefully that answers some financial questions there.
How many of you want to make money being a musician? Okay, good.
Yeah. And you can, and you can, and people, don't ever let anybody tell you you can't. Don't ever let anybody discourage you from your dreams. And there will be those people along in life, I just want to tell you, and you may have already stumbled across some of those. There's going to be naysayers. There's going to be, haters or negative people that want to discourage you, but just block that out. If you have a dream in your heart and you've been given a gift, you follow that dream. And just, don't even listen to the naysayers, because that's just part of the process. Use that as fuel to build you, And that leads me to another note. You always be the positive person. You always be the positive person that's building someone else up. Don't ever be that person that's being negative and being discouraging to someone else, because the world needs kindness. So be kind to one another. And, your friends here in school, regardless of whatever you're doing, just be kind. Be that person. If you see someone struggling, help them out, And just be positive and encouraging, especially, right now it's the holiday season, so it's a great time to even throw a little bit of that extra stuff around. Any more questions for me?
How do you get recognized? Like, how does an artist get recognized by the
You
public?
become better than everybody else.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding. Or you try to. No, really. But that really, there's a lot of factors that play into it, but I'm just kidding with that. But my point of that is you got to practice. Like, you really do have to practice and become great, because, there are a lot of great people out there, and so many talented people. I don't know, there's lots of different ways as far as being recognized, but honestly, the best way that I know how to tell you is, it's not even all just in your talent. It's in everything. It's in how you carry yourself. It's in how you handle your business. It's in how you treat people. It's in all of those things. And honestly, if you want to get to the top and get recognized, that honestly is where it's in all of those things. You have to be well-rounded in your business and your talent and your personal life and your professional life. And you just have to be a good person, and that's just truly what I believe. And I believe that applies to, all of life. I just have always personally believed that, the good will rise to the top. Now the bad does too, because, there's always good and bad, and there's always the opposing thing. But I just believe if you do the right things, you treat people right, you're gonna be rewarded for that. So that's my little encouragement bit for the day.
I had a question. Gosh, it's kind of, first, are you self-taught on your instruments?
I am a lot self-taught. I'll tell you, I've been a vocalist, and singing has been my main tool for most of my life. And then I started playing guitar when I was a kid, and I took a few lessons. I'm mainly self-taught. And then, honestly, I'll be honest, I've only been playing piano a few years, and I'm self-taught there. And I just sat down and started writing a song because my neighbors asked me to hold their piano. And I just started teaching myself, and then they ended up giving it to me. So I still have a long ways to go on the piano, but I'm working on it and everything. But I play drums, bass, piano, guitar. I can play a little bit of trombone. I used to play a little bit of trombone in junior high school, and then I switched over to snare drum. And mandolin. I can play everything a little bit at home, enough to like demo and do demo stuff. But like on stage right now, I just play guitar, cigar box guitar, and piano. But I can dabble a little bit about it and everything, but I haven't mastered any of them. My main thing is, I'm a vocalist. I've been a vocalist all my life and a songwriter as well. But it's to master everything on every level. That's a lot of time and a lot of investment to take. So you only have so much time in the day and so many lives to live. But that's still one of my goals, and I'll always be continuously working on my instruments. Just because I love music, and I'm sure you all do too, or you wouldn't be in this class. But do you have anybody else got any more questions before we get into another song?
Someone else from this from your arms.
Yeah. How long does it take for you to master like the guitar?
Well, like I said, I don't feel like I've mastered it yet, but I've been playing, since I was a kid. I still have a long way to go to master it, but I've been playing since I was a kid. It'll be a lifelong endeavor and a lifelong journey for me. And I don't feel I'll ever get to the point of mastering anything. I'll always want to keep improving and keep getting better. So, but yeah, I'm a long way from mastering anything. It's just all part of the journey. And every little piece you get to add to the journey is just, a little extra that you can take with you. So, but let's see. I'll switch over and play a couple songs on piano, and then I can come back to guitar. So yeah, I am playing piano on this album, the new Rise album, and one of the songs is one that the McCreary sisters is singing on, and they're 4 sisters. You should really look them up. They're incredible, and their music is incredible. And this is the one that I'm going to do. It's one that they're singing on. This one I wrote with a couple friends of mine in Nashville, and it's called I Can Let Go. Walk out the door and
say some of us.
Yeah, there's some benchmark testing going on today that some of them have to do.
Well, bye guys.
And we're also adding some people that had it earlier, so.
What time is it?
10:12.
Guys, 45 minutes left. Going to 11, you get work there?
Yeah.
What time's it business?
Fourth period ends at 11:05.
Oh, okay. That's what time we're working?
Okay, so that would be a little bit like, this would provide. Yeah. Oh, has anyone ever said that? All right, almost what do we have, another minute? Yep, another minute. So we'll make sure we get all the electronics put away. Oh, you need another bottle of water? Do we have still some more water in the back room?
Yeah.
I get another bottle? Please?
Yeah, I can get one.
Okay. Otherwise, I can. If you're not, your name.
Am I able to show them on my live video or no? Is that against the rules or no?
Is it okay if the kids are shown on the live video? I think it's okay as long as you don't identify them by name.
Okay.
And you are not going to be doing that.
Okay. I'm just going to get everybody.
About to open this.
Y'all wave, everybody. Which school are we at? What school am I at? Hanging out at Manatee High School here in Bradenton, Florida for the Bradenton Blues Festival, talking to the kids.
Alright guys, we're gonna let them get back to it here. Again, make sure paying attention. It's been an outstanding performance. It's an informative session so far, so continue to pay attention. I appreciate it.
And as you're listening to things that are being said, think about questions you want to ask, because there will be several opportunities throughout for you to ask questions. It's not like I can hold until the end. Okay. So for those of you that just joined us, we're very lucky to have Angela Easley with us today. She actually is originally from Mississippi, but is currently living in Nashville and has been for quite a while. And she's a singer, songwriter, performer, and also has her own radio show. And right now she's live streaming to something.
Facebook.
To Facebook, there you go. So I don't know what else I can tell you about her. So for those of you that just got here, maybe she can give a little bit of background real quick, and then those of you who are already here, it'll reinforce what she's already said.
Yeah. Hi guys, to everyone that's new, welcome. And yeah, I'll catch you up a little bit without boring the rest of the ones that have already heard just a little bit of my background. So I'm Angela Easley. I'm an independent recording artist, and I have my own band. I'm a singer-songwriter there in Nashville, Tennessee. I've lived there for 16 years now, and getting ready to release my 5th independent album. I have my own radio show there in Nashville. I've been on air for 3 years, and it's actually been my show with my name on it for a little over a year now, where I took it over as the host. But that's a really great, fun experience. I was trying to see how many new people we added versus how many were already here, so I can know what to talk about. It's kind of looks like a pretty good bit of new people, huh? Do we have a lot of? Yeah, it looks like pretty good. Okay, cool. Welcome, welcome. And we're playing some music, and I'm talking about my albums, and I'll tell you guys this because I'm just so excited about it. So I'm telling everybody this. My new album, I took pre-release CDs to the North Atlantic Blues Festival in July. It's not officially released yet, but it will be in 2020. And radio station picked it up there and started playing it, and it debuted at number 7 in the top 40 blues charts on WMHB. It's been charting in the top 10 for 5 months now. It reached number 5, and then for November it went number 1. So I'm super excited about that, and we're getting ready for the official release in 2020, and we're going to be I'm going to hire teams remoted to Billboard radio stations, and I'm going to be submitting for Grammy nominations for 2021 for it. So lots of exciting stuff. And I'm so excited to be here with you guys. I know we got a lot of talent in the room, and a lot of musicians yourself as well. And if you guys want to sing with me anytime today, feel free to join in, because I'm always welcome, participation. And we're all hanging out, friends here, having a good time, and I want to make sure you guys have a good time too. But welcome to all the new people. How's everybody doing? I hope your December is going great. I know you're getting ready to wind up for the Christmas break and everything. So, I was over here on piano. I might play one more on piano, and then I'm going to get into the cigar box guitar a little bit. We were talking about that. But do we have any more questions? Because I want to direct it to things that you guys, that you want to know or you want to talk about. So that's why I'm really asking about the questions, so I can kind of tailor it to what you want to hear and what you want to learn about or talk about. Does anybody have any questions for me that we haven't gotten to so far? Or any new people with any questions? Not yet? Okay. So, but yeah, it's been quite a journey as far as the music goes. Does anybody here aspire to be a professional musician or songwriter? Awesome. What do you want to do?
I might go pro with saxophone.
Sax player, awesome, great. I always need a great sax player. What about you back there? Horn? What do you play? French horn, awesome.
Bass.
Bass, oh, cool, bass player. Electronic, awesome. So, are you already playing out like live, performing live? What kind of stuff are you doing?
I use software on the computer to make songs.
Okay. So do you do your own original music, or are you taking like music and doing remixes of those?
Both.
Awesome. Very good. What about you? What are you doing?
Mostly writing piano pieces right now.
That's very cool. So you're writing original music? That's very cool.
I don't know what to do yet.
That's okay. That's okay. I want to encourage you, if you are at this level and you do have a goal of seeking, being a musician or music as a professional, being a professional, that you really, you want to get with as many people as you can that are doing what you want to do, and you want to hang around these people, and you want to be around them and see what they're doing and learn from them, and get with as many people that are just doing what you want to do. And research people, research artists or musicians that are where that you see yourself that you want to be in the future, and research their journey. Look and follow what they're doing, because everybody has their own path. That's the thing about, if you go to school to be a doctor or a lawyer or a nurse or something like that. There's a set path to it, right? You take these classes, these classes, these classes. If you pass them, you come out and you're a doctor or you're a nurse or you're a lawyer, whatever you want to do. Music is totally different. There are no guarantees. There are no promises with being a musician. And every day is different. Every day that you wake up is going to be different when you're a musician. And you are creating your future. And every gig and every show that you do is creating your future, because every gig and every show depends on how well you did off of the last one. Because that's just the way it is. Everything grows. It's like a snowball effect. But basically, you can get into all kinds of stuff. I don't know if you have young musicians around here that you can jam with. Also, if you like doing songwriter stuff, I encourage you do some talent shows, get into some open mic type stuff. I'm looking for my water again. There we go. But you just want to hone your craft. You want to do it as much as you can, everywhere you can, for as many people as you can do it for. Whoever will listen, That's what, when I was young, she's not a blues artist, but she's a country artist, and I love country music as well. I love all music, but when I was real little, I always loved Reba McEntire. She's a country artist that I've always respected, and I got to meet her when I was really young, and that was my question to her. It's like, what can I do, to pursue this and have a chance at this? And that was her response to me. She said, sing everywhere you can, anytime you can, for anybody who will listen. And that's literally what I've done for all these years. And am I rich and famous yet? No. Have I loved every minute of my life, and have I had some cool experiences and met some amazing people? Absolutely. There's no promises of this. But it's all about really what's in your heart, And that's with anything in life. You don't want to do anything in life if your heart is really not in it. So just some life lessons there too. All right, we're going to step over here and I'm going to play another one on the piano for you. So this is the very first song that I wrote on piano. And like I said, my piano story is a little bit different because I never had a piano, and I always did want to play, but I never had the opportunity to play. And my neighbors, they were musicians as well, and they were moving to another house, and they asked me to hold their piano for like 7 months, and I was like, of course. So during that time, I started playing and teaching myself how to play, and this is actually the very first song I sat down, even though there's a sip of water, that I sat down to write. And honestly, when I wrote this, I didn't even know what I was doing, and I'm still learning. I still don't know a whole lot, but anyway, it's on the album, and it gets great response in the shows. I hope you like it. It's called One More Last Time. Talk to you just the other day. It sounded like you were fine. You said something that reminded me of back when your heart was mine. I remember the way hold me one more last time. Hold me one more last time. Thank you very much. So yeah, that's the first song I wrote on piano. That one's on the album here. And along with all the other songs I've written. And so, any questions? Anybody have any more questions about the music industry or anything? No? Y'all are quiet, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. What did you do about going to school? It sounded like you were traveling a lot. If you were with a band, it sounded like you were middle school age.
Yeah. I did still, I completed, regular high school and
Oh,
everything.
okay.
I did miss some school. I'm not gonna. I did miss some school sometimes, but I kept up with my schoolwork. And as far as like playing in the clubs and everything, because I was so young, legally I had to have what's called a minor's work permit, and then I just had to have one of my parents, accompany me. And then there was, rules as far as when I was in the club, because I was underage in clubs. I had to be backstage and in a secluded green room area until it got time for us to perform, and then I'd come out and all that stuff. So it's not like I got to hang out, in the bar and all that stuff. But yes, I've been doing it, and I've had a lot of great opportunities from a young age, and it's just been a lifelong journey so far.
I have a question. Kingfish did the program last year. He
Oh,
came
yeah.
with his agent.
Oh yeah,
He's doing fabulous.
yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. When's the point where a self-funded artist gets an agent? I mean, how does that decision happen?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I'm at that point where I need it right now, and I'm looking, but I'm also very particular, probably a little bit of a control freak. So I'm really, cautious about who I put my stuff into. But yeah, that's a good question, and I would just say, like, for me, it's just getting to the point where there's too much for me, one person, to do, where it's becoming overwhelming. There's so much work, and that's the point, I would say, when your demand is big enough, or when you have enough going to where it's legitimately needed. If you can still do everything yourself legitimately, with amount of time and funding, then I would say do everything you can for yourself until you can't, because you're gonna learn in the process, you're gonna save money in the process, and you're just, it's just all about experience. But there does come a time, and I've had people, on and off through the years. I've had management at times, and I've had agencies that I've worked with at times. And it comes and goes, and there's different periods of careers where you have people. But I am getting to the point now, with this album and where everything is going now for me, that I'm getting to that point where 2020 I'll be bringing on some help. But it's just about finding the right people, because once you've worked yourself so hard and you put your blood, sweat, and tears, into building something, you want to be really careful about who you hand things off to, because just the wrong attitude can make the right people or wrong people, upset sometimes. So, you just have to be careful with all that kind of stuff. But, yeah. Any other questions? Anybody got any other questions?
Sure, I'll ask one.
Yeah.
It might be interesting for some of
Absolutely.
these guys. Do you, as a songwriter, do you have a way you go about that? Like, for instance, do you lock yourself in the room with a piano and a guitar, or do you have ways you kind of go about writing a song?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I always like to get into the creative process. I always even like to ask the artists, that come on my radio show what their creative process is. And for me, it happens a variety of ways. I don't have one particular format that comes to me. It can come many ways. Sometimes I can be riding in my car and just, a melody will come to me, and, grab the phone and sing it into there. Sometimes I'll just be at home and I'll just be jamming on my guitar, and a little chord progression, I'll be like, oh, that sounds good. I like that chord progression. You know, let me play along with this, and then some words will start coming along with it. Sometimes I just sit down at the piano and I just start playing a bunch of stuff, and then from there, you know, I'll just start just kind of free flowing, and then ideas will come that way. Now, co-writing is a little different. That's kind of how I operate as far as when I'm writing along. Co-writing is a little different. Those are usually, you know, scheduled sessions. There are at least 2 people, and I've written as up to 4 writers so far. And there sometimes can be up to like 7 writers in some things, but I don't like to get that many people because it's too many chefs in the kitchen is what I like to say. You know, you get too many opinions, and then the idea can kind of get watered down sometimes, but not always. But, you know, those are scheduled sessions where, you know, people collectively come together, and, you know, in Nashville, the PROs, Performance Rights Organizations, I don't know if you're familiar with that. There's 3 of those. There's CSAC, there's ASCAP, and there's BMI. And if you're a professional musician, you want to be a member of one of those 3. CSAC is invitational only. BMI and ASCAP, anybody can join. And those are the organizations that help make sure you get paid for your performances and, you know, your rights as an artist and for your music. They help make sure you get paid. So if you're going to seek this out, you definitely want to join one of those. And then they have writing rooms there. You know, they have their big buildings, ASCAP and BMI and CSAC. They have their buildings down there on Music Row, and they have actual writing rooms that if you're, you know, part of their organization, you can reserve the room and go write in a very nice room downtown, you know, with a view and everything, and I've done that many times. And some of the rooms even have keyboards in them, some of them have pianos in them, you know, so there's just different ways. And then with that, the writers, they usually bring their notebooks and their ideas of what's called hooks, you know, when you're writing a song, like the title or whatever the basis idea or catchphrase, you know, of the song is called a hook. And all the writers will come in with their ideas and their what's called their hook book, and everybody will just sit around the room and give out their ideas, and we'll all pick an idea that we want to write about and have some live conversations, you know, about it or whatever's going on in our lives that day or at that time, and we'll write a song about it. And sometimes it can happen very quickly, and it's done real quickly in one session, and then some songs, you know, it may take multiple sessions to get it completed. And it's okay either way. You know, I don't ever like to force anything as far as the creative process, because I feel it will come when it's ready, you know. And so, yeah, that's pretty much my writing process. I don't have one set thing. I always have music in my head, and there's something always there. It's usually a matter of if I'm really focused and centered enough, and I have all the other noise in my life tuned out that I can really hear, because it's always there. And if you're a true musician and if you've been put here to create music, you know you have music in you all the time. But yeah, do we have any songwriters here? Anybody aspiring for songwriting? Great. Anybody else doing any songwriting or aspiring to be a songwriter? I will tell you, there's lots of good money in songwriting, and you can stay home and do it. So it's not a bad avenue to go. Sit home and collect mailbox money is what I say. I'm waiting for some good mailbox money. It's coming though. But yeah, you know, there's nothing like creating a piece of original music. You know, there's nothing like coming together with some of your peers and your friends and bringing an idea that was nothing, that, you know, an idea from scratch, that you come in and you build it and you create it, and then you get to see that finished product and perform it. You know, there's nothing like that. It's such a rewarding feeling. And if you haven't tried it yet with your music, you should definitely try. I want to encourage you to try to write your own piece. You know, it doesn't have to be lyric-wise. You know, you can just write music itself. You can be a composer, or, you know, whatever your genre of music may be. But yeah, so we'll get into the cigar box guitar a little bit. Play a song here. So like I said, Rob's cigar box guitar, he's actually who made this one, and he's in Destin, Florida, so he's here in your state. And these are really cool instruments. Like I said, they are from the primitive days of the blues when people did not have money when people did not have money to go buy an expensive instrument. So they took household items, whatever they might find, and it became common for them to use the cigar box and build a guitar out of it, and that's how the cigar box guitar developed. This one is 3-string, as you can see. It's tuned to open G, like that makes a G chord. When I strum it, just open. The top string is G, the middle string is D, and the bottom string is G as well. And that makes a chord. And then you can play it by just fretting with your finger, or you can play chords with it as well, or you can play slide. I like to play it with slide because I just like that sound. Yeah. And they're real popular in blues music. And I'm from Mississippi, so I really haven't even been playing it very long, but it comes pretty natural. When I went home, my mom said, "How'd you learn how to play that?" I said, "I was born and raised in Mississippi." I'm like Burr Rabbit. That's what I'm supposed to do. So I went home and I sat down on my mom's porch and I wrote this song, and it's called "Back in Mississippi," and that's how it goes. Back in Mississippi, where I was born and raised, catfish in the kitchen, cooking every single day. Well, I'm going to Mississippi now. Going to Mississippi now. Going to Mississippi now. Hear my mama call. When I was a young girl, told them I was born to play. Took myself to Nashville land. Now I'm on my way. 'Cause I'm going to Mississippi now. Going to Mississippi now. Can you hear my mama Grateful for the music and all my music friends. The journey ain't been easy, but I do it all again. 'Cause I'm going to Mississippi now. Going to Mississippi now. Can you hear my mama call? Nashville, you're great. Thank you for the love and always let me play. Going to Mississippi now. Going to Mississippi now. Can you hear my mama call? So, what do you guys do? You guys are the jazz? Are you the guys the jazz band here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
This is a mix of jazz students and wind ensemble students.
Oh. Okay, awesome. So, any more questions? Anybody got any more questions? No? So yeah, the radio station is very cool. I'll tell you a little bit about how, so I was just an artist there in Nashville, and the guy that had the radio station there, we just had the 14th anniversary, yeah. So it's been on air for 14 years. There was another guy who had the slot before me. I'm Tuesday nights 8 to 10 at night, and I went on just as an artist to go perform and be interviewed, and he liked me, and he asked me if I wanted to come on and be his co-host. So I did that, and I co-hosted for a while, and then he started traveling, and so he trained me to run the board and run the show. And so he started traveling, and I ran the show, and then he ended up moving, and so I took it over. And it's just been a lot of fun. I have a great time, bringing artists on, and I interview them. I let them play live, and I always said anytime I, got to the point where I had the opportunity to where I could help others, that I absolutely would, because so many people had helped me, along the journey to get where I am. So that's just part of it. It's a little way for me to give back and help encourage others and help give them a little bit of a platform to, share their music. And that's what it's all about, helping each other. And along with the journey of life, just in general, you won't get anywhere without the help of others. We all need one another to help get where we're going and help make the journey a little bit easier. So if you can be that person for somebody, always be that person and step up. But I don't know. Are any of you guys going to the Blues Festival? Do y'all go to the Blues Festival? I know it's been around here for a while. You are going to the Blues Festival. Awesome. Anybody else going to the Blues Festival?
All right, you come see me, we'll get you up so you can be by the stage, right?
Yeah, see? There you go. Nobody else is going? I would encourage you to come check it out.
And tonight's a free concert.
Yeah, absolutely. There's going to be incredible artists there. I've already I got to meet a couple of the artists when I was in Maine at the North Atlantic Blues Festival. Anika Chambers, she's amazing. I love her. And so many other, Biscuit Miller. I mean, there's going to be so much talent and so many phenomenal artists. I really encourage you to come out and, just check it out and be part of the festivities, because it's going to be great. And the lineup is just incredible, so you won't be bored, I promise you.
Well, the tickets are all sold out for tonight, but tomorrow.
Oh,
But
yeah,
tonight, two great bands, Duffy Miller Bishop and Rusty Wright.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
And give it
it's
up for
free. It's
Jonette,
free.
everybody. Thanks so much. She's been working very hard. Been helping put all the artwork together for the posters and the booklets there that you see, and she helped me get here this morning. So, and all the staff, I know a lot of hard work goes into putting on an event like this, and so thank you so much, and thanks for bringing me over today and having me. But it's going to be a great time, and I'm excited to just be here and hang out. But I want to talk to you guys some more. I don't know what time it is. I'm trying to figure out my time. but I don't see a clock anywhere.
Well, it's
Okay.
10:49,
Okay, cool.
and we wanted to take a picture only about 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, we just got a few more minutes, we can talk a little bit more, maybe play one more song, and then we'll get a picture with everybody, but like I said, I just wanted to make sure I get any questions, because I wanna encourage you, I always wanna encourage, you know, people to follow music and be a musician, because that's what keeps the music going, you know, and you're the youth and you're part of the future, so, and we wanna encourage you to, you know, just follow your dreams and whatever you wanna pursue in life, but especially if you do want to follow it in music, we certainly encourage you, because you will be amazed the doors that will open for you through music, really, that it's just an amazing thing. But yeah, so any other questions? Anybody have any music business questions?
Who inspired you to start your career into music?
Oh, I've been inspired by many people through the years. Like I said, when I was really young, a small child, I would listen to a lot of country music just because my family listened to that. So early on, I was influenced like by Dolly Parton and Willie Nelson, a lot of country artists, Reba McEntire. Then when I got a little bit older and I could pick my own music, you know, that I wanted to listen to, I really loved rock, and I loved the 70s rock era, which is a little bit before my time, but I really just fell in love with that music, like Hard, Fleetwood Mac, and then of course, you know, blues, you know, Etta James, and I've always loved Aretha Franklin. And then today's artists, for new artists, I really love Adele. I mean, I think she has an amazing voice. Let's see, Tedeschi Trucks for today's artists, I really like them. And they're just so many great artists, but yeah, I've always loved great, phenomenal singers. So Ann Wilson's always been a huge influence for me as far as vocalists, and of course, like I said, Aretha and Etta James. But I've always been a fan of just powerhouse vocalists. But yeah, so many influences through the years, you know, and that's all part of it, is just really to sit down and spend time listening, you know, to other artists, and that's a never-ending thing too. You know, you should always be listening, not only to artists of the past, but what people are doing today and where music is going, you know, for the future. But yeah, any other questions? Yeah.
Did you say you were self-taught in piano?
Yeah.
Were you also self-taught in playing the cigarette box or singing?
Yeah, I'm pretty much self-taught and everything. I could probably use a lot of lessons.
Yeah, because I wanted to ask, how do you self-teach yourself, or how do you teach yourself and you go in the right direction without developing bad habits, or like with singing?
Yeah, that's good.
How do you do it without damaging your chords or something?
That's a good, now I've had a few vocal lessons through the years, you know, just when I was younger I had a few, and then I have taken some as I've gotten older, just to, you know, try to improve and see if I can learn some things. But I haven't done tremendous, like, studying. I guess I've just gotten lucky as far as that I haven't done any damage to it, because I've sang for years, all my life, and I've done long spans of singing, you know, like 4-hour gigs constantly. And I've just been blessed, I guess, in that area, because I don't know that I knew exactly what to do or not to do when I was younger. I just got lucky. But I have, like I said, you know, had some vocal lessons since I've gotten older. But also, though, YouTube, and I'm sure you all know, you know, YouTube is like the teacher of everything. You can learn anything off YouTube. So, and then just having natural ears, just natural ability, you know. A lot of it is just natural, and then you just take it and develop it a little bit further. But yeah.
How hard is it to be creative in the music business, you know? A lot of people can't even think of lyrics and stuff.
To me, that's not the hard part. The music part is the easiest part in the music business per se. The business part is the hardest part for me. That's what, you have to, like, when you're doing both, and you have to keep, you know, two minds. You have to keep your creative mind and you keep your business mind. Like, the challenge for me is not letting all the business stuff, like, squeak out all the creative stuff, because there's just so much business, and my brain's really not wired in that way. You know, my brain's really wired for the creative stuff. But it's not that hard for me. Now, some people it may be a challenge, but I always have creative stuff there. For me, it's just keeping everything cleared out of the way for it to come out, But, yeah, so I have a question for you guys. Have you had fun at all today?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, I'm just making sure, because I hope you've had fun. I don't want to sit here and bore you to death. But really, I want you to come to the Blues Festival. I'll be there Saturday. I'm going to be playing short 10-minute sets in between the headlining acts because I'm getting introduced as a new artist, which is amazing. And I'm so thankful to Paul Benjamin for this opportunity, because you talking how do you get discovered? Well, you meet people like Paul Benjamin that puts you in front of thousands of people that they get to hear your name and your music and decide if they like you. It's just all about networking and building relationships. Relationships and people, and building the right relationships with the right people is how you will get where you want to be in life. And that truly is, I believe, the key to success in life.
So, it's all kind of serendipity, right?
Yeah.
So Steve Harvey wants to meet you. He runs an international cigar box. He might come
Awesome.
tonight to meet you.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I just sent him a video.
Yeah.
So, you just make friends,
Yeah.
get networks,
Yeah.
and you're going to meet Steve.
Yeah.
He's a cigar box artist as well.
I want to talk to y'all something. This is real quick, just real quick. I don't know if you all know this, but everything is energy, and we are all made up of energy, and people call it vibes or whatever, but you carry a vibe or you carry energy with you. And everybody, just like music is frequency, everybody, your energy and your core vibration vibrates at certain different hertz. And different vibrations of different emotions, fear, anger, being happy, gratitude, all these different emotions vibrate at different frequencies. And so the reason I'm telling you this is just be aware of your energy and like the environments that you put yourself in, because everything that you see, everything that you hear, and everything that you're around affects you. And you take little pieces of this everywhere you go. So I just want to encourage you, number one, to be aware of your own energy. There's different things you can do to raise your vibration and to just help yourself feel better. I'm also a licensed massage therapist for 14 years, by the way. This is how I know about all this stuff, and I talk about all this stuff. And I've worked with amazing people doing that as well. This year alone, I've got to work with Cher and her crew, and Pink and her crew, and Kelly Clarkson and her crew. So that's why I'm talking to you about all this, because I get to work with people doing that on this level as well. Because your energy and the way you carry yourself and just how you feel about yourself, it affects the people around you, and the people around you affect them as well. So I just want to encourage you to be mindful and just, be mindful of the things you do, the things you put yourself around in, and just your attitude and your mindset that you have in general. And you can do things, positive things that can help bring your vibration up. Playing music is one, going walk out in nature is another. Taking Epsom salt baths. I don't know if any of you are familiar knowing this, but white sage. You can take white sage if you're kind of just feeling bad or yucky, or if you had a bad day. White sage and Palo Santo. You can cleanse the energy. You can cleanse your space. You can cleanse your own physical aura and cleanse that. But all of this is it's all part of the whole package. It's all part of the whole package of life. And music is so connected in life because music is a vibration. And we are all energy, and we all vibrate. And it just, it's just how you want to go out and vibrate into the world. How you want to go out and share, what you have with the world. So, does that make sense? All right. Any other questions? Are we getting close to picture time?
Yeah, so, part of my business, because I'm trained as an artist and a designer, is raising $1 million a year. Do you know I have to raise money to bring this to you?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Make those connections. So as an artist, I was an artist for quite a while, a graphic designer, and that's why our posters and programs look great.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of things at Realize Bradenton, realizebradenton.com if you're interested. We do children's book, and we do nutrition programs and the farmer's market, all cool vibration stuff.
Yeah.
And I would love to get, for those of you that want, I'd love to get a picture. Michael's our professional photographer. So we've got 4 websites, 4 Facebooks, Snapchat, Instagram, Pinterest, you name it, we got it. So really get the good vibes out there about the work we're doing in the world, and particularly in Bradenton. So, Michael, you're going to take a picture?
Yep.
Get up here and hold your cigar box.
Did you say you wanted to do it in front of the trophies, or?
Yeah, let's get over there.
That way we don't have to.
I'm gonna get my phone so I can get